Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, is one of the most interesting holidays I've ever had the chance to look into. Much like Halloween, but with a little more flair. And today we will be swallowing our fear and taking a good long look at one of the biggest holidays in Latin culture, on today's episode of 5 Weird Things. Welcome to the channel, where I get to dig up the rumors, gossip, and hard-found facts about any subject that either I come up with or you suggest. And in my family, the tradition when dealing with the deceased seems to be that you remember the best stories about the deceased, usually told at the wake by those that knew them best. What's your family tradition? Please share it down in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Okay, let's get into it. First, the stuff we all need to know. Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, is a Mexican holiday that is celebrated to honor and remember deceased loved ones. The holiday typically takes place on November 1st and 2nd, which coincides with the Catholic holidays of All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day. Now, the focus is on honoring the memory of the departed and supporting their spiritual journey rather than mourning their loss. Now, with that out of the way, weird thing number 5, marigolds. Marigold flowers, known as cempasúchil in Spanish, are believed to attract the spirits of the dead with their vibrant colors and strong scent. Now, they are often used to create pathways leading to the ofrendas, which means altars, but I'm going to get into that in a minute. Weird thing number 4, calaveras, sugar skulls. Sugar skulls, or calaveras, are a very common symbol of the holiday. They are colorful, skull-shaped candies, often decorated with the names of deceased and given as gifts or offerings. I've also seen plaster skulls that have been painted very vibrant colors and just beautiful decorations that oftentimes sit in a prominent place in people's houses year-round. Also, face painting. People, both young and old, paint their faces to look like the skull, other calavera designs. Now, while skulls are often associated with death, in the context of Day of the Dead, they represent the idea that death is a natural part of the human experience and should not be feared. Not a bad idea. Weird thing number 3, pan de muerto, also known as bread of the dead. It's a sweet, decorated bread that is commonly baked and consumed during the holiday. The bread is often shaped like bones and skulls, and it's just kind of a staple on the tables during the holiday. And the reason that occupies weird thing number 3 is because I think it's weird. But kind of a cool weird. But anyway, that's why it's there. Weird thing number 2, processions and parades. In some regions of Mexico and other places with large Mexican communities, there are parades and processions featuring people dressed as skeletons and other colorful characters. Now, these events are often lively and very festive. Now, the Day of the Dead manages to blend the solemnity of honoring the dead with a sense of playfulness and humor. Calaveras, or satirical poems, are often written poking fun at the living as well as the dead. And finally, weird thing number 1, ofrendas, which translates to altars. Families create elaborate altars in their homes, at grave sites, or town square type settings. Now, these altars are adorned with marigold flowers, candles, incense, photographs of the deceased, and items that the departed enjoyed in life, including food, drinks, even personal items such as clothing or toys. Now, I mentioned candles and incense because they are kind of staples of the altars, always used to decorate them. The candles are used to light the way for the spirits of the departed, and they symbolize hope, faith, and the eternal flame of love. And the fragrant smoke of the incense is believed to purify the environment and guide the spirits of the dead to the ofrenda. Now, it's a cultural way of maintaining a connection with the deceased, and the altars are very carefully arranged to honor and remember the deceased loved ones. To sum it all up, it's important to remember that what might seem weird or unusual in one cultural context can be deeply meaningful and beautiful in another. The Day of the Dead is a celebration that helps people cope with the loss of their loved ones and maintaining a connection to their memory. And it's a reflection of the rich cultural diversity and traditions found in Mexico and among Mexican communities worldwide. Well, that's it for today's episode. If you liked it, loved it, hated it, let me know in the comments. Still looking for video suggestions, so let me know what you want to see. As always, take care. Have a great night.